How to cook beans correctly. Normally, when we cook beans directly, we cook them with a lot of phytic acids. Those are the protective acids in the seed that keep it from being digestible. It is to protect the bean from being eaten by other animals. So when you eat the bean, or when an animal eats a bean, it gets indigestion as a warning not to eat that food again. So when you soak the beans, all these bubbles you see, this is foam. All this foam is made from bubbles that are the phytic acids coming out of the seed itself. So if you soak the beans for a day or two, rinse the beans as you go, the beans or the seeds release the phytic acids, and so after that you put them in the fridge or freezer. They soften, and when you cook them, it speeds the cooking period, and when you cook them, they are digestible. They don't give you too much gas, and they are digestible because they released the indigestible acids, those phytic acids. Many people complain of getting gas because of eating beans, and so they refrain from eating beans. Now, beans are very healthy because it is when you eat beans, your gut bacteria ferments them and makes a lot of butyrate, a lot of very important compounds in your body. Okay, now you get gassy, you become gassy because your gut bacteria are not used to eating the beans or to fermenting the beans. What you want to do is to eat beans a few at a time with increments. That is to give the gut bacteria some time to be able to digest those beans. So if I ate 2 tablespoons today, if I ate 3 tablespoons tomorrow, if I ate 4, by the time I eat a bowl of beans, my gut bacteria will have already been used to digesting it or fermenting it, and I will not experience the gas. Okay? So we will talk about the cooking method. This is just the soaking and the releasing of the phytic acids. More to come. Stay tuned. Now, this is day 2 of the beans. You can see there's still a lot of bubbles, meaning that the beans are still releasing a lot of bubbles, a lot of air, a lot of the acids that are making the bubbles. That's a lot of them, being day 2 of the project. Stay tuned. So next, you just make sure that you rinse the beans very well. Just run water and make sure they are very well rinsed. Okay, and then we're gonna go to the cooking. So after my beans are washed, I just put them in this little pot. I improvised and looked for one of those steaming pots, medium sized. And so I put the beans in here. I put this steaming pot inside another pot. Okay. And then put the beans in, put a little bit of water, making sure that the water does not touch my beans. And then I cover the pot, okay? So that way, my beans are steaming. The content in the water does not touch my beans, and so there's no washing away of my nutrients from my beans, okay? So by the end result, you get your beans out with their nutrients. So here we are. As you can see, the water content is all the way down, just way low. That means it's not going to touch my pot. Okay, so I put that in there, put the cover on, and put it on the stove. I put it at a high heat to begin with, but after the water boils, I simmer and my beans cook in low heat. That way, the boiling, it doesn't bubble the water too much, so it touches my beans. It is just steaming, and the steam is what cooks my beans. Depending on the size of the meal that I want to steam, I also have these amazing things. I have no idea what the name is. I bought them because they adjust to the sizes of my pots. So based on the size of the pot I have, okay, as you can tell, this is a smaller pot, that's a bigger pot. This one, you put it in, it takes the shape of the pot, and you put whatever it is that you're steaming, and it doesn't touch the water. The water is all the way low. You cover the pot, you steam your whatever it is, and then it comes out like that. I have a bigger one. You put it in your pot, it takes the shape. See that? It's magical. It takes the shape of your pot. You put whatever it is that you're steaming in there, and it does not touch the boiling water. So whatever it is that you finish cooking has all the nutrients that was initially in the food. It did not get drained in the liquid, in the boiling water. Okay? So I put my metal piece inside. As you can see, that's my metal piece right there. I put whatever it is that I'm steaming right in there. I put a little bit of water. That water does not touch my food when it is cooking. Okay, and then I cover the pot. And after that, the water is boiling, low heat, just the steam cooks whatever it is I'm cooking, and my end result, my food, has all the nutrients in it. All right, my pot is boiling on high heat. As you can see, the steam is getting to my beans. I keep it covered and I simmer. I put the heat on low, or at least almost low, and my beans continue cooking. Okay, I'm cooking 2 pots because my beans were too much, and as you can see, there we go. That's still running at high heat because it's not boiling, and then we're gonna simmer. All right, it's time to check on our beans, and as you can see, our beans are completely cooked. See that? The steam has done a lot of justice. The good, important part about this is all my nutrients, all the nutrients in the beans are totally intact. So I'm just gonna leave them there for a few minutes. I'll turn the heat off. I already did that. And just a few minutes, and then we have food ready to eat.